Good evening, Mama. I am using a new microphone, so it was driving me crazy how these replays were turning out with like this little garbly gook in the noise, and I just couldn't take it. So I have a different microphone, but like I didn't test it before now. So if somebody could just let me know that they can actually hear me and it sounds good, that'd be great. My husband's giving me a thumbs up, so I'm gonna say we're good. I'm gonna say we're good. So hello, welcome to tonight. It's Thursday night again, and I've been going live every Thursday night to empower mamas. Check out my shirt. I got this from Boundless Beauty. I can link somewhere around here, Boundless Beauty. Yeah, I love it. Empowered women empower women. That's what we do. So that's what I come here for every Thursday night, to just inspire you to believe that you're actually meant to feel good in motherhood because you are, because we have systems in our brains designed to help us feel good and actually enjoy our time here with our little humans on earth. Okay, so tonight we're going to unlock the secrets of our happy engine specifically, and that is designed to pave the way to that like peaceful parenting that we like had in mind when we thought we were like the life we thought we were creating. And is really designed to help us have restful nights and restful sleep. That's what your happy engines is for. So you're in the right spot if you're like tired of napping at your kids, right? You're losing your cool over the silliest thing. You're just feeling drained from these endless nights of tossing and turning and can't shut your brain off. Or PMSing, right? If you're PMSing like all the time, this is a good discussion for you to take part of. So stay tuned. I am Lindsay Marie, and after 6 years of navigating the exhaustion, the overwhelm, the irritability that seems to come with motherhood, I discovered a natural and very sustainable way to overcome it. So I learned all about it at a deeper level and became a mental health nutrition coach. So now I'm on a mission to help moms like you shift from barely surviving to actually thriving by rebuilding your brain's natural feel-good systems. This is all naturally inside of us. It's amazing when it works like it's supposed to. So, about 8 years ago, I was all of those things that I mentioned at the beginning. I was yelling at my kids. I was barking at my husband. I was losing my shit over the stupidest things, little noises, silly little imperfections that really didn't matter. I was losing my mind. My husband was walking on pins and needles around me because, you never knew when I was going to explode. And I was afraid that my little kids were going to like fear me more than love me, and that terrified me. But I was putting on a good show. Like no one would know the difference, right? That is the problem, right? No one knew the difference, and so no one on the outside knew any different, knew any better about how I was feeling or how I was treating the people that loved me. So let's start with a little heart to heart. I just gave you a little bit of mine, right? So how many of you have felt like you're just one little imperfection, one little spill, one loud noise away from just like losing your cool? Like who here has felt that fear of becoming more of a monster mom than this marvelous mom that you dreamed you would become someday? Drop me or raise your hand in the comments, whatever you want to do, to show a little support and help other moms know that they're not alone in this space. And for anyone who participates during the live event tonight, you're actually going to be put in a drawing to have a free 20-minute call with me. This is a standard call structured just like I use with my paying clients. It's not a sales call. We're going to talk about you and what's working, what's technically not working around your mood and motherhood, and just figure out the next best steps for you specifically because everybody's different. So I'm going to give one 20-minute call away to somebody who participates tonight in the live discussion. So again, if you're feeling the things that I was feeling, just raise your hand, give a me in the comments, because I know I'm not alone, but there's a lot of moms out there that are afraid they are, because we all put on this facade and put on this happy face, even though we're not really happy right in here. So imagine so your happy engine, I'm going to give you like a scenario. Imagine it like you just stepped on a Lego, right? for like the third time today because they're all over your house. And the dishes are piling up and your kids are saying they have no clean clothes, like they can't get dressed, right? And it's like, I've done laundry 80 times today. You have to have clothes, right? But even like, they have clothes somewhere. But in these moments, right? Like as I say this, you're probably already having a reaction like, yep, But in these moments, wouldn't it be nice if happiness like just felt like the default setting instead of having to use willpower to like get through every single one of these things? That's where your happy engine comes in. It's also known as serotonin. It comes into like, imagine just and I got screwed up in my notes. I'm sorry. But your happy engine comes in that moment when all those things are happening, right? And it gives you like a positive outlook. It takes that like, I just stepped on a Lego, like instead of having that like angry response. Of course it hurts and you might, but like it wouldn't be your default. With your happy engine firing the way that it's supposed to, you have this positive outlook. Like you can actually look at the Lego on the floor, you can look at the mess of toys in your house, and you can see that as a sign of the reality that you are creating a playful life for your child. Or it gives you flexibility. It gives you the happy engine gives you flexibility to juggle the dishes and the tantrums and the laundry. And I got to go help this kid find clothes and I already did laundry 80 times today. How does he not have clothes? The flexibility helps you juggle in between all of those things. That's what the happy engine does for you. The happy engine gives you emotional stability. Like you're not going to be rattled by every cry, by every complaint, by every request for laundry. It just won't rattle you. You'll be more grounded. You'll be more stable when your happy engine is filled and working the way that it's supposed to. Or self-confidence. Like it gives you self-confidence. It allows you to feel like a capable, amazing mother, which is what you are, right? Even though your house is messy, right? It won't rely on that. Your happy engine doesn't rely on a clean house. You can still have confidence in who you are, regardless of your circumstances around you, when your happy engine is working like it's supposed to. It even gives you a sense of humor, your happy engine. Like, that's what lets you laugh at all of the small stuff, which you really have to be able to do as a parent, right? Like the spilled glass of milk. Instead of crying over it, you need to be able to laugh at it, truly laugh at it. And you can do that when your happy engine is firing like it's supposed to. So, moms, can you share a time with me when you surprised yourself actually with a burst of positivity? Has this ever happened to you? Like, have you ever like, wow, I thought that would really upset me and I actually laughed at it or had a positive reaction in this challenging parenting moment? When looking back, like, do you think your happy engine was at full throttle that day? Like, I'm hoping that as we talk through this, you might be able to reflect on maybe that one time you remember that that happening and think about what was different that day. So, hi Nicole, I'm glad you're here. It doesn't matter if you're a little late; it's all good. So, those are all the things you should feel when your happy engine is firing the way that it's supposed to. And if you missed it, the replay will be featured on my group for a while, and then it'll be on my website. So you're always free to come watch these things again and again and again. But now I want to talk a little bit about the signs of a depleted happy engine, which you're probably more familiar with. So when your happy engine is sluggish. So when I say happy engine, I don't think I said this yet. It's your serotonin, okay? Your serotonin is your happy engine. Everybody has the system in their body that serotonin fires. And I just call it your happy engine to keep it simple. Okay, we don't need to get too sciencey. So when your serotonin's low or your happy engine is low, like all the parenting advice in the world cannot prepare you for the real life moments. Like you don't have the system firing in your body to make you happy. So I know you know this feeling like this low self-esteem, right? Low self-esteem is a big one for moms. You feel that when you're replaying like all of the mistakes you made today, right? Like, and it just takes your low self-esteem or the guilt that you think you're not doing enough, or you're impatient with your kids. They just won't listen, right? Like Those are actually all signs that your happy engine isn't firing. Now, kids not listening and stepping on Legos can all deplete your happy engine, right? Like it's taking up some of you in order to get through that. The problem is when your happy engine has only got this much fuel to begin with and your kid won't listen at like 5 minutes after you get out of bed and your kid won't listen and you have to use up all of your happy engine in that moment, now your mood's erratic the rest of the day, and anything requiring that happy engine is just hard. It requires willpower. Maybe you get ragey, right? This is not uncommon, Mom. Like PMS is real, and the tears, the moodiness that comes with PMS or menopause, that's also signs of your happy engine just getting sluggish and tired, just putting you on this emotional roller coaster. And then there's that worry, right? So when the happy engine isn't running well, there's worry and it lingers, and the anxiety can just keep you lying awake at night, restless, watching the clock like, oh my gosh, it's only 1:30 in the morning, how am I going to get through this night, right? Or even the afternoon and evening cravings are very much tied to your happy engine. You're craving those things to get your happy engine to fire in the evening, even though you promised yourself you'd eat better, like you eat it anyway because your happy engine needs it. So all of these things, even panic attacks, can be a sign that your happy engine is actually depleted. And it's very relevant. I don't want to skip over it because it's so relevant right now for the time of year that it is. We can't overlook the winter blues. So that heavy, gray feeling that is starting to settle over you, especially now that we set the clocks. We set the clocks differently. If my husband's listening, I really need some water. When it gets dark outside, your serotonin starts to tank. So it's just harder to keep your bucket full when the sunshine isn't shining on you as much as it was before. So just when you're supposed to be like in the happiest time of the year with Christmas and Thanksgiving coming, we're feeling blah. And so that is actually a sign that your happy engines need some help. So let's open up the conversation a little bit. And remember, if you participate during the live, you're getting put in a drawing for a 20-minute consult call with me. This is not a sales call. This is the same kind of call that I have with all of my paying clients. Nobody can sign up for a call with me. Like it does, unless you're a paying client, we don't talk on the phone. So this is really the only way to get me on the phone if you really want to talk. So if you participate during the live, you're going to get put into a drawing to have that 20-minute conversation with me. And it's all about you. It's all about talking about how you are, like what your challenges are in motherhood and how we can help you with your mood like right now. Okay. So when I'm talking about all these symptoms, which one is really resonating the most with you? I mentioned self-esteem. I mentioned the guilt. I mentioned impatience, ragey, PMSy, winter blues. Like even panic attacks are a sign of a low happy engine. Just sleepless nights, just tossing and turning, very much can be related to a low happy engine. My husband got me some water. So answer the question. If you're watching, I'm going to drink some water. Okay. So I'm over my cold, or I thought I was, but my throat is feeling a little scratchy. And it's not that I don't normally talk this much, because I always talk this much, but I don't know why right now the air must be getting drier and drier as we're getting closer and closer to winter. But anyways, the good news about all of this, you're feeling all of this like low happy engine symptoms. The good news is you're not broken if this feels really familiar to you. I know it does. There's not a bunch of people commenting right now, but I know the people watching and the people who will watch the replay know what I'm talking about, okay? And it's just a sign that you're low on fuel. That's what it is. If your car was low on fuel, would you say that it's broken? Would you say that it's not good enough? Would you say that it's failing you because your car is low on fuel? Nope. You wouldn't say that. You would go to the gas station and you would put fuel in your car, okay? You'd give it what it needs, which is more fuel. So why do we call ourselves broken as moms? Like, why do we give ourselves such a hard time, right? When all we need is a little fuel. Partly because you don't realize that that's what's going on. That's why I'm teaching you this, right? You don't realize that you're low on fuel and you can actually refuel yourselves fairly easily, right? Once you know what's going on. But also because we tend to put ourselves last, even though our family depends on us more than anyone else. So in order to refuel ourselves, it's going to take time, money, and energy to do that, right? And my family deserves that more than myself. But wait. You and your family rely on your car for one thing. Like, it gets you around, right? Transportation. You rely on your car for one thing. And you give it gas when it needs gas. Because how you gonna rely on it if it doesn't have gas? The car's not broken. The car deserves gas, okay? If you want to get it, if it's like, I demand gas. If you want to use me, I demand gas. So you put gas in it. You and your family are depending on you for a list of things that is so much greater and more important than transportation, and you let your tanks run empty. And then you beat yourself up for not being good enough. What? You are literally a car driving around with no fuel. You are a freaking superhero for being able to do that. And all you do, you beat yourself up over it. Like, mama, you just need some fuel. You're not broken. So stop it. Fuel your engines, okay? Can you think of a moment recently where you felt like you were running on empty? Maybe this was 5 minutes ago. Maybe this is right now, right? But what's one thing that you wish you could give yourself or have given yourself at that time to refuel? Like, think about it. What do you wish you could have? Like, what? You're running around. You're like a car, but like way more important, and you're running people around on empty. Like, what's the thing that you want? What do you want? What do you want to give yourself to refuel? Again, if you participate in the comments, I'm going to put you in a drawing for a 20-minute call with me. It is not a sales call. It's all about you. Don't worry, okay? I have Nicole saying she would like a nap. Yep. She'd like a nap. Sleep is so important. Sleep is so important, right? And it's like this vicious cycle, especially as I'm talking about this happy engine, right? So if your happy engine is low, it's hard to sleep. But what do you need to get your happy engine refueled? You need sleep. So it's a vicious cycle, quote unquote. But like I said, there's an easy way. There's an easy way to get this figured out once you understand. Laura says spouse to help. So yeah, for both of you, like, are you making the request? Are you doing whatever it takes to get what you want? This isn't even. This is like bare necessities, right? A nap and your spouse to help. These are bare necessities. You are not asking for anything out of this world. Okay? A nap could be 20 minutes every day or 2 hours a couple times a week. Whatever. Like, either way, it's like, you're not asking for much. I just want you both to know you're not asking for much, but you do have to ask. You do have to figure out a way because you and your family are depending on you more than anything else. So you have to actually take care of this, unfortunately. You have to figure out a way to get a nap. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And you have to figure out how to get your spouse to help. Like, you got to make the request. And when they don't help, if they're not helping, how can you support yourself? What can you control? What can you control? What can you let go of? What is within your control? And what do you have to let go of? Because it's not in your control. So how do you even know your engines are low, right? So like, I've kind of given you some examples of what it feels like when a happy engine is low, but the mood checkup that I have actually assesses your mood symptoms and how well each of your 4 feel-good engines are running. So you don't have just a happy engine. You have a relaxation engine, an energy engine, and a pleasure engine. Besides, all of those things are supposed to come easy when these engines are running like they're designed. So once you know which of them need the most fuel, you can start to actually narrow in on the most effective things that are going to make you actually feel better. Because you're going to be like, oh, actually, my energy engine is the lowest. And to boost my energy engine, I should be focusing on these things in order to start feeling better. You start to see your struggles as actually opportunities to support your feel-good engines. All of these mood symptoms are just your body trying to tell you that it needs some help, it needs some fuel, and you've just never known before now, like what it was trying to say or what to do about it. So you start to, when you take the mood checkup, you start to have some self-compassion on yourself. You realize that you literally are running on empty. And this is not how you were designed, just like your car wasn't designed to run on empty. So before I dive out too much into the mood checkup or what to do to fuel your happy engine specifically, can you identify one thing in your daily routine that might be your signal that the feel-good engines are running low? So are you getting that afternoon slump? Are you irritable at a certain time of day? Just share your thoughts with me. Like, what is that thing where, is there anything I'm saying, anything I'm talking about where you're just like, yep, she just said this and that is totally related to like one of the biggest things that's bugging me in my life right now, because I can't seem to get over this hump. Anything sticking out to you. So share your thoughts and you're going to be entered in to win that 20-minute call with me. And I promise it's not a sales call. We're just talking about you. Laura says patience level goes way down. So yeah, at a certain time of day, I'm wondering, or just in general. And yes, the patience, the like, it shouldn't take willpower all day long in order to not lose your crap on your kids or whatever. Whoever your closest loved one is doesn't deserve that, right? And we can overcome that without willpower. We can let things roll off our back, go with the flow, see the glass half full, like be optimistic and positive when your happy engine can run like it was designed. So how do we fuel the happy engine of yours that is so that what I just said is true, that being positive, flexible, self-confident, emotionally stable can just be turned on, right? Literally flip a switch. I'm telling you, like, it can work that fast. And that's not hard to believe when we talk about stress chemicals. Like, when you get impatient, how fast do you get impatient? How fast do you go from like, everything's fine, it's a pretty good day, to I'm gonna lose my mind, because the stress chemicals are telling your body to like react a certain way and they work fast. The problem is like we don't have the feel-good chemicals in there, they can't react like that for us. But the same is true for the feel-good chemicals. When your body actually has what it needs to create them, they work like a charm. Like they work like a charm. It's not that you never get angry, because there's certain times when you just do and it's okay. But when it's your normal and when it's really erratic and it's like out of your control, that's when you know that things are a little too low. So the fastest way to get all of these feel-good chemicals humming is with amino acids. So amino acids are in protein, okay? But when you're severely depleted, that's not going to be enough for you to fill those buckets back up. So it's important to eat the protein. You should definitely be eating protein. Like every 3 to 4 hours, you need to be eating protein. But also, you can take amino acid supplements to help build these engines back up when you've gotten to a point where you're so depleted. And you can build them up relatively quickly with amino acid supplements. That's what I work with moms on in the Feeling Good in Motherhood program. So amino acids, whether they come from protein or they come from amino acid supplements, they still need the right vitamins and minerals to flip those feel-good switches. So you eat the protein, your body has to take all the amino acids out of it, and then it creates chemicals in order to flip these switches, turn these engines on, right? And that takes a lot of bodily functions to get it to the point where you have the amino acids you have the actual serotonin, which I'm talking about in Happy Engine. You actually have enough serotonin. You have the serotonin. Your body's finally made serotonin out of the protein that you ate. It just takes a lot of the right environment, vitamins and minerals to do that. So that's also part of the walk I go on with mothers in the Feeling Good in Motherhood program, to get those vitamins and minerals in them, the ones that actually make a difference in getting these amino acids to work the way that they're designed. But you can make a big difference, Mom, just by like eating more fruits and vegetables, eating more protein. Like this, it comes back to this all the time, right? When it comes to mental health or anything, like, are you eating enough protein? Are you eating fruits and vegetables? And also get yourself a high quality multivitamin and fish oil to give yourself a boost. Because it's hard to eat. It's hard to eat great all the time, right? So you also won't make much progress if you're stuck in negative thinking. You just won't. You can be doing all of the right things to feel better. But if you're always expecting the worst, you're always living in what I call your dungeon brain. If you've ever listened to me talk before, your body is not going to release feel-good chemicals if it thinks you're in danger and you just need to survive. It's not going to, no matter how much good things you do. So practice positive thinking. It actually matters, because then your body is like given permission to release the feel-good chemicals that you're craving so much. So the amino acid supplements and the journey I go on with moms also help with this. It makes these things easier, right? It makes it easier to eat right. It makes it easier to think positively when we can use those amino acid supplements to build those buckets back up and make everything in life a little easier. So thinking about your daily habits, what I'm talking about with protein, positive thinking, what's one change that you could make to boost your mood? Whether it's, like I said, positive thinking, put protein in your breakfast, eat enough, often enough. Maybe you're only eating one real meal a day and you'll up that to 2 meals a day. Like, that's going to make a difference. Just one small step that you're willing to try. Let me know in the comments. So the best thing that you can do right now is take the mood checkup, if you haven't taken the mood checkup already, to see how low your Happy Engine really is on fuel. I need more water. It's moodcheckup.rebuildyourbrain.net, P.S. So, it's going to give you ideas on how to boost not only your Happy Engine, but all 4 of those engines. This mood checkup is going to look at all 4 of your feel-good engines. But you also know how full your Happy Engine is right now. And it's going to include all of the all of the things you can do to boost them, right? So it's not just like, oh, here's how full they are. It's going to explain to you what you can do to boost all of your different engines, so that you can, like I said before, just focus in on like, okay, I really do feel this way, so I should really be focusing on these things to try to feel better. If what I'm having a hard time with is this Happy Engine stuff, or what I'm having a hard time is this relaxation engine stuff, then I really should be making these things a priority. So put any other questions for me in the comments here while I wrap up. And remember, I'm giving away a 20-minute call to anyone who participates in the live event tonight. Nicole says, think more positive, eat more protein more often. Yes. Yes, please. It will do your body good. It'll do your family good. It'll do your mind good. Just get protein into your mouth more often. And think more positive. When I don't know if it's next week. I don't remember when my next positive thinking Thursday night discussion is. But when I do that one, I usually give away my Palace Path journal, which is all about like practical strategies for positive thinking. Just force it if you have to. Even forcing it makes a difference. It tells your dungeon brain you're moving out and you'll be okay. Laura says more protein and let small things go. Yeah. Will you post a link to which one? I actually don't have the Palace Path journal for sale right now. I don't think I do. I don't know if I have a link for that. or not. I can find out if that's what you're talking about. Or if you're talking about the mood checkup, I will post that for sure. Laura say more protein and let small things go. So yes, let small things go, and that's easier to do when your happy engine's full. So have a little grace with yourself as well if you're having a hard time letting the small things go. And know that, this is actually hard for me, not because I'm broken. It's hard for me to let small things go because my happy engine is so depleted and everything is requiring willpower, right? So when it requires a lot of willpower to let small things go, it just feels hard and like not sustainable. So just remember to have self-compassion on yourself and just keep swimming, right? Just keep some sort of positive thought in your mind when something's about to, have you fly off the handle at something little. Something positive, something to replace that thought. Like something, I'm getting into like other things. That's why I keep hesitating because I'm only talking about the happy engine tonight, but I really want to help you. So letting small things go would be easier when you can like figure out something to replace that immediate knee-jerk reaction that you might normally have. I'm not saying you have this. I don't know you. But let's say that, I know that there's little noises or little things that are going to bug me tomorrow. So what am I going to say to myself when I can feel that I might want to explode at this little thing? What am I going to interrupt that thought with instead? What am I going to replace that with instead? What am I going to say instead to myself to make that stop so that I can let the small thing go? My husband, he put the mood checkup in there for you, Nicole. So where am I at? Quick recap. Any more questions while I'm recapping? I'll still have a minute to answer questions at the end. But you have a natural happy engine in your body. It's there. And it was designed for you to have a positive outlook, to be flexible, to have emotional stability, and really have like confidence in who you are and have a sense of humor and be able to let these things roll off your back. When that happy engine isn't running as it's designed, you have low self-esteem, you feel guilty, you get easily impatient, you lie awake at night, just can't stop thinking and ruminating about certain things. You're anxious, you're worried. You might be starting to get the winter blues around this time of year. Even panic attacks are a sign that your happy engine is sluggish. I want to be clear that you are not broken. You're not broken when you feel all of these things. Your happy engine just needs fuel. You wouldn't call your car broken if all it needed was some fuel. So to fuel it, you need to eat protein every 3 to 4 hours. You need to think happy thoughts. Amino acid supplements and the right vitamins and minerals are really the key to make the eating of the protein and the happy thoughts easier. And that's what I work with moms on in the Feeling Good in Motherhood program. And the mood checkup, which is linked in the comments, will show you how each of your feel-good engines are running and encourage you that you are truly meant to feel good in motherhood. I don't see any more questions here tonight. So my DMs are always open. I'm always here Thursday night. So thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back next Thursday night. It's not Thanksgiving yet. So invite your mom friends and I'll see you next time. Bye, ladies. I love you.